Compound exercise of choice today is going to be a machine tricep press. You think I'm talking shit?
Yes.
Anyone wonders where I get my genetics from?
It's literally just after 6:30, got my coffee down the hatch. One of my most embarrassing moments on one of the group calls with the business mentorship was when Mark Coles, who was the owner of the business mentorship, he turned to me in the Zoom call and he goes, "Sean, tell me one thing about your daily routine that no one else knows about." And I literally, my jaw dropped.
His car in the rear.
Routine is something that doesn't exist, Shay Fitzness. One morning I could wake up at 8 o'clock, the next morning I could wake up at 6. The one thing that I thought of was I said, Mark, when I wake up first thing in the morning, would you believe I chug half a litre of water? That's all that I could think of. That was the only semblance of routine that I have in my day. And I think a lot of this, and it is something that you see, a culture of my morning routine, my daily routine that a lot of influencers perpetuate. A lot of them don't even stick to themselves.
I need YouTube to settle a debate here. I was always of the opinion that you put oil and fry light on a pan to stop the contents of the pan sticking to the pan. It's scrambled, but it's in a frying pan. Therefore, it's fried eggs.
If there's fry light in this pan, well look what I'm doing. I'm just mixing the fry light in with the eggs. The eggs are still going to be touching the bottom of the pan. Well, why don't you make them next time?
me make the breakfast. That's your job.
Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
Thank you. Bit of a change of venue today. Today we're in Matchbox Fitness, and just before anyone wonders where I get my genetics from, turns out it's from my mother, who's tearing the shit out of the lat pull down over there. We're onto an arm day. Last time I started the arm day with a close grip bench press. This time I'm going to go with a little bit of a different compound exercise. The compound exercise of choice today is going to be a machine tricep press. With any tricep dip or tricep machine press, what I tried to do is keep my chest as upright as possible, as opposed to stooping my chest over like this. I tried to keep it semi-upright like that. It's just going to take a lot of the focus off of the chest and force the triceps to work a little bit better. So remember, tricep, more upright. If you want to hit more chest, closer to horizontal. In complete defiance of a rope pull down, which I refuse to do to this day out of nothing, aside from purely ego, I've attached 2D handles to a cable pull down machine, and instead we're going to do dual arm tricep push down, but single arm. Make it make sense. Here's one for your brain to decipher. Every single gym movement is a single leg or single arm movement. You think I'm talking shit?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
A squat. You're technically doing a single leg exercise at the same time as the other leg. Think about it. A bench press is working one side of the body at the exact same time as working the other side of the body. So it's a single limb exercise where you're just doing both limbs at the same time. We're in agreement. Perfect, I knew you'd understand. I knew you were smart, Debbie. The final tricep exercise of the session, as you'll recall, and what I taught you in the last arms workout, start off with a compound tricep exercise, so either a close grip bench press or a tricep press machine. Then we move on to a tricep movement with your arms in front of the body, whether that's like a tricep push down, not using the rope, using the cable straight bar or the dual D handles. Then we finish off triceps with an overhead movement of one form or another. Today's overhead movement is going to be a double overhead tricep extension. Okay. I lost my voice. You'll see on that exercise, and indeed most exercises that I do, that the range of motion is pretty damn big. And that's not unintentional. It's because range of motion is a massive predicator of overall muscle growth. Muscles only grow bigger and stronger through ranges of motion to which they're exposed. If I was half repping that extension and not going all the way down, stretching my tricep to its fullest capacity, I'm technically leaving gains on the table. I'm on my third set of my first bicep exercise. The pump on this is actually quite good. It's quite raw. You know when you do your first bicep exercise, it can be hit or miss. It can be just like really sore in your joints, your wrist, your elbow, or it can just be one of those supreme pumps. The best way I can describe it is like a dry, hard, solid pump. That's exactly what I have right now. Things like alternating bicep curls, where you're doing one arm at a time. It's arguably negligible in the difference that you're going to get doing it both arms versus doing it one arm at a time. So in the interest of being as efficient as possible, try to do at least as many reps as possible, both arms at the same time. But if it's like getting to the stage where one arm is fatiguing quicker than the other, then switch to alternating just to finish off both arms. Final exercise of this arm workout is going to be a rope cable hammer curl. So you might recall, if you watch my TikToks and my Instagrams or my YouTubes, I tend to do one bicep curl variation with my palm facing up and one bicep curl variation with my thumb facing the ceiling. So this is going to be the variation with my thumb facing the ceiling. I don't know the science behind it, so don't even fucking try and ask me, but it's just something that has worked for me quite clearly. It's especially fine on exercises like bicep curl. As much as possible, try to maintain proper execution, proper technique, proper performance of the exercise. But if you are really pushing yourself to your limits, you're going to reach a point in a set, you just don't have the strength to maintain the same form, the same execution. So as you saw there, the rope hammer curl started out like that, but by the last couple of repetitions turned into a bit of a drag curl. Still getting bicep stimulation. Is it as effective doing that technique for the whole set? I would argue not, but it is just a sign that you are pushing yourself to where you need to be to see the most growth.
So Abby this morning had me questioning my decision to eat eggs every morning for breakfast. Not only that, but her addition to the eggs, which has been cheese, simply because she informed me, and I should know this because I'm a personal trainer, but cholesterol is not good for you. We have bacon, which has got cholesterol, and fried stuff. Not that I give a fuck, but it's just interesting. And I'm still going to eat eggs every single morning. And even if Monster had cholesterol in it, I'd probably still drink 3 a day. Maybe I'll just have to go on statins when I'm older. It's just interesting after our conversation this morning that we come to a banquet full of cholesterol. Don't really give a fuck. To mark Abby's last night in the country, it's going to be 2 glasses of Aperol Spritz. The ingredients for an Aperol Spritz, in case you don't know, is Prosecco, Aperol, and the pièce de résistance, a bottle of soda water. I actually had an interesting conversation with a bar person when I said that most Aperols in Ireland are watered down to shit. And they go, well, it couldn't be watered down because we as bar people get precise measurements. And I'm like, that doesn't mean that it's not watered down to shit. You want a healthy dose of Aperol. That's probably a little bit too much. But anyway, hefty amount of Prosecco. A lot of places will load up on the soda water but hold back on the Prosecco, obviously because it's cheaper to put more soda water than it is to put Prosecco in. It's on you. Well, don't do that! Anyway, that's, see, I just wanted to demonstrate what can easily happen if you're not paying attention. So guys, when you're pouring the soda water for your Aperol Spritzes, make sure you don't shake it up. Decent dash of soda water, or what's left of it anyway. The rest of it's on the floor. And from here, really, you're just adjusting ingredients to get the colour kind of right. I think that colour is pretty much spot on, to be fair. You don't want it lighter than that, because then that's probably indicative of a lack of alcohol / Aperol. And you don't really want it warmer than that, because then it's probably too much Aperol. If you've got too much Aperol, there's usually quite like a strong pang off it. Unfortunately, we have arrived to the end of this YouTube video. It is little Abigail's last day in Ireland here. She's her bags packed, they're at the front door and ready to get into the car and head up to Dublin Airport. She's after giving out to me for taking out the camera and delaying her further to wrap up this YouTube video. So without further ado, we're going to say like, subscribe, take care, chat to you soon.